Let me see if I can do this before the sun come up. Welcome everybody. Welcome again to the Luk'A'Here y'all podcast, where we speak truth to this thing that we call nursing. I am your host, Miss Trina, and today we got a good topic. We really do. It's called CNA versus AI. Okay, will tech replace the human touch? Hmm. Will it? That's a good question because AI is taking over everything. And if I say if you ain't cloned, then you ain't really doing nothing. But anyway, okay. Let me open up with this personal story, okay? Because this podcast, uh, you know, we touch on everything. We touch on every subject. Well, we touch on subjects that some of my viewers asked me to touch on, and I don't know why, but they don't never hit me up in the comments. They always hit me up by DM, but shoot, I'll take that too. As long as somebody listening, somebody paying attention. Now, with that being said, let's just get into it, okay? I had this patient at a facility that I worked at in North Dallas, and he came in the facility spry. He came in the facility moving. He came in the facility, cracking jokes and, just being overall friendly. I was out for 2 days, so I come back to work and he not friendly. He not chipper. You know what I'm saying? He not, he wasn't himself. So around 10 o'clock that morning, I asked him, what was the problem? Because he was in his room. You can rarely catch him in his room. And he said he haven't seen his nephew since 2 years ago, something like that. And I got to see my nephew. It's my favorite nephew. Do you know what I mean? I said, oh, I know what you mean. He said, do you know who I'm talking about? I said, I sure do. Do you think you can get him? I said, yeah, let me go see where he is. Let me go see if I can get him. I leave out the room, go to the nurse's station, explain to Miss Cynthia, what I need or whatever. And I got special permission from my DON to actually call a family member to get the nephew's number, and that's what I did. And when I got the nephew's number, I went back to his room, and I dialed the number, and the person answered, and I told him who I was, and I told him where I was, and I told him who wanted to speak with him. And his face lit up when he heard his nephew's voice. He recognized his voice over the phone. His face lit up. And if I don't tell you, whatever conversation they had did him some good, because, baby, he was back on his thing, back around the facility, back cracking jokes, back having fun, just back laughing, So now that's one of the things that I think that AI cannot do. That's one of the things I think they can't do. They can't, recognize human emotion like that. They robots. They have been programmed to do whatever we need them to do. They've been programmed, but they can be programmed all day long. But if you ain't got no feeling, you really ain't doing nothing. And I'm just telling you the truth. And so with that being said, though, because robots is doing all kind of things now, all kind of things. So if a robot can lift, monitor, and remind, does that mean that it can curl? No, I still say no. Look, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I am not anti-tech, but I am more pro-human when it comes to this thing that we call nursing. You can't give me no robot. Take care of me. Do nothing for me. Hell, have you seen Megan 2? Megan 2.0 or whatever that is with that little crazy baby? Ain't nobody got time. Don't nobody have time at all. Okay? So let's just start with the facts. Okay? AI is here. It's already here. Okay? And it's doing a lot. It's doing a whole lot. The AI-powered health monitoring reduces health visits by 25%. That means telehealth. That means when the when the patient or the client has a doctor's visit, instead of actually going to the doctor, they will be viewed on and through a monitor. So the physical human touch is already gone on that point, at that point, And then it says 84% of health executives believe AI will change care delivery. It's going to have to change care delivery because, you dealing with something that's not human. Yeah, not human. Yeah, I can say it again. But see, the only good thing that it will do, basically, that I think is provide analytics, do documentation, something like that. But what is that? IBQ. What is that? That program and Alexa offer 24/7 companionship and reminders, and that's from Care.com. That's a stat from Care.com. And robots assist with mobility, dressing, and meal prep. Okay, okay. Now I can get the mobility because I worked in a rehab hospital where they used and I worked on the spinal cord injury floor, where they use all kind of robots and machines and gadgets to help you stand, to help you walk, and be mobile. But then when it comes to dressing, I'm yet to see a robot dress a human. I'm telling you, I can't wait to see that. I ought to break my disability just to apply and see what robot is really dressing a human. Now, in meal prep, now see, a robot can be programmed to know that this person is diabetic, so this person can't have. Or this person is high cholesterol, so this person can't have. They respond that way. And still, I'm yet to see a robot meal prep. Now, I know we got AI generated, whatever that is, fast food restaurants and stuff like that. I know it's happening, but I just want to see. I want to see an AI powered robot stand up and make an egg sandwich. I really do. I can't wait to see that. Okay? Now, while I'm on what they can't do, let me get through with what they can't do. Okay, now, here's where the conversation is going to shift. Okay? It's going to shift from conversation. It's going to shift from efficiency to empathy. Okay? That's where the conversation is going to shift. From efficiency to empathy. Okay? Now, emotional support. AI can simulate conversation, but it can't feel. We can have a conversation, but you can't feel. You feel me? Yeah. And when it comes to critical thinking, CNAs make judgment calls in unpredictable situations, something that a AI robot cannot do. You can't spur of the moment think. A robot has to accept the situation, assess the situation, and then give you an answer. But it's not working like that with humans. We quicker than that. And when it comes to cultural sensitivity, see, AI lacks the nuance to navigate family dynamics, trauma, or spiritual care. They can't do none of that. So if you have somebody that's saved, filled with the Holy Ghost, can't no robot what you call it? You can't you can't assimilate that. Am I using the right word? Nah, but yeah, that's not a comparison that you can make. That ain't nothing that a robot can feel. Trauma, I don't think that's nothing that a robot can feel. And okay, check this out. Okay, well, let me give you that example. Okay, picture the CNA trying to calm down a sundowning patient. Okay? What would AI do in this situation? I, I don't know because it's unfathomable. It really is. It is unfathomable what an AI or a robot would do in this instance. But I tell you what a CNA, a human, can do in this instance. That human can connect with that patient to understand what that patient needs, and that patient can ask the tech, a series of questions that an AI robot probably couldn't even answer, wouldn't even know the answer to. But what the human does with the patient is actually play gospel music and pray with them. Okay? Something that an algorithm just could not predict or could not do at all. Care isn't just a checklist, it's a relationship. It ain't nothing that you check off on. I mean, don't get me wrong now. The job description, yeah. The task for the day, yeah. But when it comes down to it, it's actually a relationship, a real relationship. It's just so many things that AI can't do that us humans are gifted at, And I got three little small examples. Cause yes, I did call around cause I'm nosy like that, and they said I can use their name. So here we go. This chick named Kim, where I used to work at, said that she connected the daughter back to the mother just through a series of jokes. Just joking. Not so much as joking about, a specific thing, but life in general. And getting old. And having to have somebody care for you. Don't get me wrong now. Nursing is serious. Caregiving is serious. But there's also humor in it. And if you don't find the funny spots, if you don't laugh, if you don't take advantage of the weird and kooky when it comes to nursing, then you won't have a good time in it. You won't like it. Now we all can be serious. We can be serious up until a point. Because the day I hear a AI robot laugh at something, at a joke that a human cracked, is the day I will kiss you in the crack. Okay? Then they'll be going out there trying to find a robot now. Now the second story, was just like me. When you notice subtle changes in your patients, Greg said he was off for 3 days. He come back to work his first day back, and he noticed that one of his patients looked gray. I'm not talking about gray as in ashy because the patient was black. I'm not talking about gray as in ashy. I'm talking about actually looking at him and notice that something is wrong with him. Girl, tell me why he went and told the nurse and they did their little, initial exam or whatever, honey. Sent him to the hospital and found out he was straight up sepsis. Yes. Can't no robot do that. Can't no AI do that. That's all human right there. Okay? And when I talk about comfort, I mean this. I mean Sherry, not Sherry, my cousin. Sherry. No, was it Sherry? No, it was Cherie. Yeah, Cherie. I think I got this from Cherie. Yeah. Cherie said she stayed over for 2 hours after the shift with a dying resident because the family couldn't be there. The family lived out of state. Cherie said that she stayed over. She stayed 2 hours over because the patient died at the end of the shift. But after she did postmortem care, she stayed 2 hours over. Until the funeral home came and got, the patient or whatever, and the facility understood, and they let her have that time, and I think that was pretty cool. I think that was pretty cool of her, because when the family did come to the facility, she had she could tell them what their end of life was, and I'm quite sure that everybody wants to know, their family members, status on their way out. I mean, that's anybody. I mean, because I would want to know too. See, but these ain't just tasks that we check off. These are acts of love. Okay? Love is something an AI robot cannot feel. So just because we can automate care, you know what I'm saying? Like, should we do it? Like, how do you automate care? This world is getting too microwave for me. Everybody wants something fast and right now. Too microwave. Don't nobody have the time to just slow down no more? Yeah, because when you got that loss of automation, baby, you in trouble. Because that actually, loss of automation is like, it's the first of all, it's the loss of the human connection. First and foremost. It's a real voice in your ear. It's a real touch on your shoulder. It's the real feel of holding of your hand. And they sure gonna be all out of whack when, the data privacy, is breached. Because everything is AI, documented by AI. It ain't nothing but a computer. And anybody can surveil it, especially if you're a good enough hacker. You can do anything you want to do with computers. You can shut them down. You can turn them on. You can do anything you want to do with computers. But you can't do that with a human. And the big talk is, though, the big talk is they going to be putting these assistants, these AI-powered assistants in low-income communities. Instead of real caregivers. They want to give the low-income communities AI-powered robots. Girl, who play too much? These folks play too much. They doing just a little bit too much with AI. Now, y'all is getting out of hand. Y'all might as well just go one step further and just start cloning people. If y'all gonna do all that. AI can assist, yeah. But it can't replace the soul of caregiving, like, at all. So I don't know why people... it's staking so much on this AI in caregiving. You know what I mean? So, basically, we're going to have to ask this question, though. What does the future of nursing look like? I'm talking about for the CNAs. Not just the machines. We already see what they're doing. I'm talking about for the CNAs. Okay? And by the year 2030... The elderly population is going to be enrolled by 8%. That ain't nothing but 5 years away, y'all. It's going to be enrolled by 8%. And AI is going to handle all the routine tasks like freeing us CNAs from deeper care. How you going to free me from deeper care? Hold up, what? Yeah, them the questions you got to ask, because those are the questions that I'm asking, because I am so confused at how y'all think a robot can replace a human in this aspect of nursing. I mean, just because they got machines to do surgeries and they taking the load off doctors, that don't mean that them AI-powered robots, machines, or whatever all that crap is going to be beneficial in CNA work. It's weird. Now, what they trying to do is do this. When CNAs are coming in now, or probably 5 years CNAs or less, they're going to have to eventually get to everybody. You know what I'm saying? But they want them trained in tech, because tech is going to be in high demand. Like I said, by the year 2030, it's going to be in high demand if they already putting it in place now. And it don't take them long. It don't take them long at all to perfect nothing. Especially China, baby. Baby, they over there living like compact critters. But seriously, You, it don't take you nothing to make a better design. And emotional intelligence is going to emotional intelligence, that's going to become a skill in a minute. For real. It's really going to become a skill, because the future isn't CNA versus AI. It's going to be CNA plus AI, because you just cannot get rid of no CNAs, baby. I'm so sorry. Try as you might to robotize or AI inspire everything, you cannot replace a CNA, period. Now, shoot. Now they can be talking for, talking or looking for solutions. People can even push for tech training, like I said, for the CNAs. They can push for ethical AI policies in healthcare. Yeah, they can push for recognition of emotional labor in caregiving. They sure can. But who's to say it's going to happen? Who's to say we're going to get it like that? And that's just true. Who's to say we're going to get it like that? Because AI can assist, but it can't replace the soul of caregiving. It cannot. It cannot replace the soul of caregiving. So, care is not a transaction, though. It's a transformation. And no machine can replace the healing power of human presence. Okay? No machine can replace the power of human presence. So, now, in my opinion, the only thing that I feel like AI is going to benefit the CNA is just the documentation. Period. Documentation. As long as we got a headset that we can talk our vital signs or talk our care into, then shoot, we good. Because that's all we really need is just a headset, our hands and our hearts. That's what we need. And that'll be beneficial for everybody. Because do you know how long it takes to stop and document? Yeah. That time you spend writing, you can be changing somebody. The more you writing, the pissier they getting. I'm just telling the truth. So I'm not going to sit up here and sugarcoat nothing. Shoot, I'll be truth telling on mine. Yeah, so I had to bring this podcast to you guys' attention because AI is really out here trying to bogart the human experience. AI is out here just trying to take over just our human life, like they got a right to be here. And the reason why I speak of them as if they're human, because they actually trying to make them human. They trying to make these artificial things human. Yeah, I almost got riled there. But yeah, so when we as CNAs, we have to actually be vigilant. We have to stay on top of our like natural flies. Do you hear me? Because just like a facility can replace you, so can AI. So, with that being said, y'all, keep your head up, man. Stay in the know. Like, subscribe, and comment. And most of all, continue to take care of and love each other like you should be taking care of and loving yourself. Until the next time I see y'all take it easy. Again, this is Miss Trina at Luk'A'Here, y'all. And please, Luk'A'Here, y'all.